Lesson 1: Prioritizing fitness in a hectic life.
Hey Anna, I've been wanting to ask, how do you manage to find time for exercise in your busy schedule? I'm really struggling to fit it in.
It's definitely a challenge, but making fitness a priority is so important. The key for me is finding ways to integrate it into my daily routine.
That's a great point. I tend to think of exercise as something extra I have to squeeze in, rather than just part of my normal day.
Exactly. Even small things like taking the stairs instead of the elevator or going for walking meetings can make a big difference.
Ah, I like that idea, the walking meetings especially. That's an easy way to get moving without it feeling like a separate workout.
Absolutely. And if I'm having a really hectic day, I'll even do some quick desk exercises or stretches at my workstation.
Nice, that's a clever way to sneak in some activity. I should start doing that instead of just sitting for hours on end.
Definitely give it a try. Even 5 to 10 minutes of light movement can re-energize you and boost your productivity.
That's a great point. I tend to just plow through my work without any breaks, which I'm sure isn't the healthiest approach.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance and incorporating fitness seamlessly into your daily life.
You're right, I need to get better at that. Maybe I'll try setting some calendar reminders for quick exercise breaks.
That's an excellent idea. Having that built-in structure can really help make it a consistent habit.
Absolutely. And if I'm struggling to find time, I'll have to get creative with my workouts too.
For sure. High-intensity interval training or bodyweight exercises are great options when you're short on time.
Ah, yes, those are perfect. I can definitely squeeze in a quick hit session even on my busiest days.
Exactly. The key is just being flexible and adaptable with your fitness routine.
That's really good advice. I tend to get stuck in an all or nothing mindset, but any activity is better than none.
Totally. Progress is progress, no matter how small. Just keep moving in the right direction.
You're absolutely right. Alright, you've really inspired me to rethink how I approach fitness in my daily life.
I'm so glad I could provide some helpful perspective. Remember, it's all about finding what works best for you.
Definitely. Okay, time for me to put these strategies into practice. Thanks for the motivation, Anna.
Of course, anytime. Wishing you the best of luck fitting fitness into your busy schedule.
Appreciate it. Catch you later.
Lesson 2: Gaining a competitive edge.
Hey Anna, I'm really trying to get a competitive edge in my career lately. Do you have any advice on how to approach that?
Absolutely, John. The key is to take a well-planned, strategic approach. The first step is to really understand your industry and the specific skills that are in high demand.
That makes sense. I'll need to do some research to identify the areas I should be focusing on to stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. Once you've pinpointed the critical competencies, you can start honing those skills through ongoing training and development.
Okay, that's a great point. I should look into workshops, online courses, or even a mentor to help me elevate those essential capabilities.
Definitely. And don't forget to leverage your network as well. Connecting with industry leaders and peers can provide invaluable insights and opportunities.
Good call. Networking has never been my strong suit, but I know it's crucial for gaining that competitive edge.
I hear you, it can be intimidating. But even small steps like attending industry events or joining relevant professional associations can make a big difference.
That's a good suggestion. I'll have to start putting myself out there more and making those important connections.
Absolutely. And once you start building that network, be sure to nurture those relationships. Follow up, offer assistance, and look for ways to collaborate.
Right, it's not just about making the initial contact, but maintaining those connections over time. I'll have to get better at that.
Exactly. Consistent engagement and providing value to your network is key. It'll help establish you as a go-to resource in your field.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, I'm starting to get a clearer picture of how to approach this whole competitive edge thing.
Wonderful, I'm glad I could provide some helpful guidance. The most important thing is to have a proactive, strategic mindset.
For sure. And I like the idea of really honing in on those critical skills and capabilities that will set me apart.
Definitely. Stay agile, keep learning, and leverage your network. That's a winning formula for gaining a competitive edge.
Awesome, this has been super insightful. I'm feeling motivated to put these strategies into action.
I'm thrilled to hear that, John. Wishing you all the best in your pursuit of professional growth and advancement.
Appreciate it, Anna. Alright, time for me to get planning. Catch you later.
Lesson 3: An attitude of gratitude.
Hey Anna, I've been thinking a lot about the importance of gratitude lately. What does that concept mean to you?
Gratitude is all about acknowledging and giving thanks for the good things we have in our lives, whether that's our food, our families, our health, or even the small daily blessings.
That's a really beautiful way to think about it. It's so easy to get caught up in what we're lacking or what we want, that we forget to appreciate what we already have.
Absolutely. Cultivating an attitude of gratitude can have such a profound impact on our overall well-being and outlook on life.
I can imagine. Taking the time to be thankful for even the little things must make a big difference.
Definitely. It's about shifting our focus away from the negatives and really savoring the positives, no matter how big or small.
I love that. Do you have any specific gratitude practices you recommend to help foster that mindset?
Well, one simple thing is to make a habit of naming a few things you're grateful for each day, whether that's in a journal or just in quiet reflection.
Ah, that's a great idea. Starting the day with that positive mindset must be so centering.
Exactly. It helps reset your perspective and puts you in a much more appreciative, joyful frame of mind.
I can see the value in that. Are there any other ways to weave more gratitude into daily life?
Absolutely. You could also try writing thank you notes to people who have impacted you, or even just taking a moment to express your appreciation verbally.
Ooh, that's a wonderful suggestion. I bet a handwritten note would mean so much to someone.
Definitely. It's such a simple yet powerful way to make someone else feel valued and acknowledged.
I love that. You've really inspired me to be more deliberate about cultivating an attitude of gratitude.
I'm so glad to hear that, John. It's such an important practice, and can truly transform your mindset and outlook on life.
I can see why. Okay, time for me to start putting these gratitude strategies into action. Thanks for the insightful chat, Anna.
Of course, I'm happy I could provide some helpful perspective. Wishing you all the best in your gratitude journey.
Appreciate it. Catch you later.
Lesson 4: A race through the terminal.
Phew, I'm exhausted. I just had to sprint through the entire airport to make my flight on time.
Oh no, what happened? Were there any delays or issues with your travel plans?
Nothing major, I just completely underestimated how much time I'd need to get to my gate. I ended up running like crazy through the terminal.
Yikes, that sounds stressful. I can imagine trying to navigate a busy airport at a full sprint.
You got that right. I was weaving in and out of people, dragging my carry on behind me. I must have looked like a madman.
Haha, I can picture it. Did you at least make it to your flight on time in the end?
Thankfully, yes. I got to the gate just as they were closing the doors. Barely made it, but I'm so relieved I didn't miss my flight.
Phew, that's good to hear. Nothing worse than the panic of potentially being stranded at the airport.
Definitely not. I think I shaved a few years off my life with all that running, though.
I bet. Your heart must have been racing a mile a minute. Did you at least get a chance to catch your breath before takeoff?
Not really, I pretty much just collapsed in my seat, still trying to catch my breath. The flight attendant thought I was having a medical emergency.
Oh no, poor thing. I'm sure that made for an interesting start to your trip.
You could say that again. I was a sweaty, out of breath mess. Not exactly the most graceful airport arrival.
Oh well, these things happen sometimes. At least you made it in the end, right? That's the most important part.
True, true. And I learned my lesson. I'm definitely building in some extra buffer time for my next trip through the airport.
Good call. Better to have a little extra time to spare than to be sprinting through the terminals in a panic.
Exactly. I don't know if my heart can handle another mad dash like that one.
Haha, I don't blame you. Sounds like quite the ordeal. Hopefully the rest of your travels are nice and smooth sailing.
Thanks, I sure hope so. Alright, time for me to grab a coffee and try to recover from that airport adventure.
Sounds like a plan. Enjoy the rest of your trip, and safe travels.
Appreciate it. Catch you later.
Lesson 5, Hydrating for Health.
Hey Anna, I wanted to ask you about something. I've been trying to drink more water throughout the day, and I feel like it's made a real difference.
That's great, John. Staying hydrated is so important for our overall health and well-being.
Definitely. I noticed I have more energy, my skin looks brighter, and I'm even sleeping better.
That's exactly what we'd expect to see when someone increases their water intake. Proper hydration has so many benefits.
It's been really eye-opening. I used to struggle to drink enough water, but now I make sure to keep a water bottle with me at all times.
That's an excellent strategy. Having it readily available makes it much easier to remember to sip on it consistently throughout the day.
Exactly. And I find that if I drink a glass of water first thing in the morning, it sets the tone for the rest of my day.
That's a great habit to cultivate. Hydrating right when you wake up can kickstart your body's systems and processes.
Totally. And sometimes I'll even infuse my water with fresh fruit or herbs to make it a bit more exciting.
Ooh, that's a wonderful idea. Adding a little natural flavor can make drinking water feel more like a treat.
Definitely. I've been experimenting with things like lemon, cucumber, and even a touch of mint. It's a nice way to mix it up.
That sounds delicious and refreshing. A great alternative to sugary juices or sodas as well.
Absolutely. And I find that I'm less tempted to reach for those unhealthy options when I have my tasty, hydrating water nearby.
That's a fantastic point. Staying well hydrated can actually curb cravings and reduce snacking on less nutritious foods.
Exactly. It's been a game changer for me. I'm feeling so much better overall since I've prioritized my water intake.
I'm so glad to hear that, John. Proper hydration really is one of the simplest yet most impactful things we can do for our health.
You're right about that. Okay, I'm off to refill my water bottle. Thanks for the great chat, Anna.
Of course, anytime. Keep up the awesome work with your hydration habits.
Will do. Catch you later.
Lesson 6, Handling a Fender Bender.
Hey Anna, I can't believe we just got into a little fender bender here. Let's exchange insurance info while we wait for help to arrive.
Good idea, John. Safety first, we'll want to make sure we have all the necessary details documented properly.
Absolutely. I'll grab my insurance card and driver's license. Want me to get your info as well?
Yes, please. I have mine right here. We'll want to exchange names, contact details, insurance policy numbers, and license plate info.
Got it. Okay, let me jot all that down. Looks like there's minimal damage, but it's always better to be thorough.
Definitely. We'll want to notify our insurance providers either way, just to be on the safe side.
For sure. I'll give my agent a call as soon as we finish up here. Want me to do the same for you?
That would be great, thanks. I really appreciate you taking the lead on this. I'm still a bit shaken up.
No problem at all, I'm happy to help. Let's just stay safe and wait for the authorities to come document the incident.
Sounds good. I'm glad we're both okay. This could have been a lot worse, but you reacted so calmly.
Well, I've had my fair share of these types of situations, unfortunately. Staying level-headed is key.
That makes sense. You seem like you know exactly what you're doing. I feel much better with you here.
I'm glad I could provide a steady hand. Alright, I've got all the info we need. Hopefully the police arrive soon so we can get this sorted out.
Agreed. In the meantime, let's just take a deep breath and assess the damage. No need to panic.
Exactly. We'll get through this just fine. I appreciate you keeping calm as well, it makes a stressful situation a bit easier.
Of course, we're in this together. I'm just glad no one was hurt. Okay, here come the flashing lights. Looks like the authorities are here.
Perfect timing. Alright, let's go talk to the officers and get this taken care of. Afterwards, we can be on our way.
Sounds good. Lead the way, John. I'm right behind you.
Awesome. Okay, let's do this.
Lesson 7, Booking the Perfect Getaway.
Hey Anna, I'm trying to plan a little vacation getaway. Where do you usually book your travel?
I usually use popular travel websites like Expedia or Travelocity. They have a wide selection of flights, hotels, and vacation packages all in one place.
Ah, yeah, those are great options. I like how you can compare prices and amenities side by side.
Exactly. It makes it so much easier to find the best deals and customize your trip. Do you have a specific destination in mind?
Well, I was thinking about taking a beach vacation somewhere tropical. Any recommendations on good places to look?
Ooh, a beach getaway sounds lovely. I'd suggest checking out destinations in the Caribbean or even the Florida Keys.
The Caribbean, huh? That could be really nice. I've always wanted to visit someplace like Jamaica or the Bahamas.
Those would be fantastic choices. The beaches are gorgeous, and there's so much vibrant culture to experience.
That's exactly what I'm looking for, a chance to relax on the beach but also do some exploring.
Absolutely. Most of those island destinations offer the perfect blend of beach time and opportunities to immerse yourself in the local scene.
Wonderful, that's really appealing to me. Alright, time to start browsing some vacation packages then.
Sounds like a plan. Just make sure to read through the reviews and details carefully when booking.
Good call. Wouldn't want any unpleasant surprises when I show up at the resort.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to shop around a bit, prices can vary quite a bit between different travel sites.
Noted. I'll definitely compare a few options to make sure I'm getting the best value.
Fantastic. I'm sure whatever you end up booking will be an amazing and memorable getaway.
I really hope so. I'm excited to start planning this trip, it's been too long since I'd had a real vacation.
I can imagine. Everyone needs a chance to unwind and recharge sometimes. You deserve this.
Agreed, can't wait. Alright, time for me to dive into some travel research. Thanks for the tips, Anna.
Of course, happy to help. Wishing you the best of luck with planning the perfect tropical retreat.
Appreciate it. Catch you later.
Lesson 8: Decluttering for Happiness.
Hey Anna, I've been feeling the need to declutter my living space lately. Do you have any tips for tackling that sort of project?
Absolutely, John. The key is to take it slowly and ask yourself if each item truly brings you happiness or serves a purpose.
That's a great point. I have a tendency to just get overwhelmed and start tossing things out willy-nilly.
I can understand that feeling. Decluttering can be an emotional process, but going at it thoughtfully will yield the best results.
Okay, so I should really take the time to evaluate each item and not just blindly get rid of everything, huh?
Exactly. Go through your belongings category by category, and be honest with yourself about what you actually use and love.
That makes sense. I'll need to be ruthless, but in a measured way. No more impulse purges.
Haha, yes, exactly. The goal is to create a living space that feels comfortable and joyful, not stripped bare.
I like that perspective. It's about finding the right balance, not just minimizing for the sake of it.
Precisely. And don't be afraid to get sentimental about certain items, just be selective about what you keep.
Good call. I'm sure I have a lot of stuff that has more nostalgic value than practical use.
Definitely. The "does this bring me joy" test is so important. It helps you differentiate the meaningful from the clutter.
I can see the value in that. Okay, I'm feeling more equipped to tackle this project now. Any other tips?
Absolutely. I'd also suggest breaking it down into smaller, more manageable tasks. Doing a little at a time can make it feel less daunting.
That's smart. I was thinking of just diving in headfirst, but you're right, a step-by-step approach is probably better.
Exactly. And don't forget to reward yourself along the way. Celebrate the progress you make.
Ooh, good call. A little treat or a fun activity could provide the motivation to keep going.
Definitely. Positive reinforcement is key when you're taking on a big organizational project.
I love that idea. Alright, I'm feeling pumped up and ready to start decluttering. Thanks for the awesome advice, Anna.
Of course, I'm happy I could provide some helpful guidance. Wishing you the best of luck with your decluttering journey.
Appreciate it. Okay, time to dive in. Catch you later.
Lesson 9: Tracking down a lost item.
Hey Anna, I was hoping you might be able to help me. I seem to have misplaced my favorite jacket and I'm racking my brain trying to remember where I last saw it.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, John. Do you have any identifying features on the jacket that could help us track it down?
As a matter of fact, yes, it has a distinctive red patch on the front. It's one of my favorite pieces, so I'm really hoping I can find it.
Okay, the red patch is a great detail to remember. Where was the last place you know you had the jacket? Retracing your steps could be helpful.
Well, I think the last time I wore it was at work a few days ago. I must have taken it off at some point and then completely forgotten about it.
I see. Have you checked your office or any common areas at work where you might have left it behind?
You know, I haven't actually gone back to look for it there yet. I just assumed it would show up eventually, but maybe I should go take a closer look.
That's a good idea. The sooner you can retrace your steps, the better chance you have of finding it before it gets misplaced even further.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to head over to the office as soon as I can and see if I can spot that red patch anywhere.
Smart move. And let me know if you need any extra sets of eyes to help search. I'm happy to assist however I can.
I really appreciate that, Anna. It's always easier to find a lost item when you have someone else looking too.
Definitely. Two pairs of eyes are better than one, as they say. I hope you're able to track down your jacket quickly.
Me too. It's one of my go-to pieces, so I'll be bummed if it's gone for good. Alright, time for me to get searching.
Sounds good. Good luck, John. I've got my fingers crossed you'll be reunited with your favorite jacket soon.
Thanks, I really hope so too. Okay, I'm off to scour the office. Catch you later.
Lesson 10: A day of shopping and exploring.
Hey Anna, I'm so excited, I've got the whole day free to do some shopping and exploring. You up for joining me?
Absolutely, John. That sounds like the perfect way to spend the day. I can't wait to check out some new stores and restaurants.
Awesome, I'm glad you're game. I've been itching to update my wardrobe, so I'm ready to hit the mall.
Ooh, shopping spree, I'm in. We should also grab lunch while we're out and about, treat ourselves to something delicious.
Great idea. I'm craving something hearty and comforting, maybe some classic diner fare.
That does sound perfect. We can wander around, pop into all the shops, then refuel with a yummy lunch.
Exactly. This is exactly the kind of day I needed, just some quality time out and about, no agenda.
I hear that. Sometimes it's nice to just meander and see where the day takes us, without any strict plans.
Absolutely. I feel like I've been so bogged down with work and chores lately. It'll be great to cut loose a bit.
I can imagine. This will be the perfect reset button. Time to recharge those batteries.
You bet. Alright, shall we get this adventure started then? I'm ready whenever you are.
Sounds good to me. Lead the way, John. I'm right behind you, ready to shop till we drop.
Haha, I love that attitude. Okay, first stop, the mall. I have a feeling it's going to be a fantastic day.
I'm sure of it. This is exactly the kind of quality time together that we both need. I can't wait to see what we discover.
Me neither. Alright, let's do this shopping, exploring, and plenty of good eats. What more could we ask for?
Exactly. Okay, onward and upward. This is going to be a blast, I just know it.
I couldn't agree more. Alright, here we go, the shopping extravaganza begins.
Lesson 11, The Ingenious Hunting Tactics of the Plains Indians.
Hey Anna, did you know that the Plains Indians had some really fascinating hunting methods before they acquired horses?
No, I didn't know that. I'd love to learn more about their hunting techniques. What were some of the innovative ways they would hunt buffalo?
Well, one interesting approach was that the hunters would quietly creep up on the buffalo herds and hide in the tall grass or behind natural features.
Ah, I see, so they used stealth and concealment to get close to the animals without being detected. That must have required a lot of skill and patience.
Absolutely. They were masters of camouflage and tracking. Once they were in position, they would launch their attacks with bows and arrows or spears.
Fascinating. I can only imagine how nerve-wracking that must have been, getting that close to such massive and powerful animals.
You're right, it was incredibly risky. But they had developed very precise techniques to make the most of their limited weapons.
I'm impressed by their ingenuity and resourcefulness. What other methods did they use before they started using horses in their hunts?
Well, one unique tactic was known as a buffalo jump. They would herd the buffalo towards a cliff edge, then drive them over the edge to their deaths below.
Wow, that must have been an elaborate and dangerous process. How did they manage to get the whole herd to go over the edge like that?
They would set up intricate systems of natural and man-made barriers to channel the buffalo towards the jump site. It was a highly coordinated communal effort.
Incredible. They really maximized the resources available to them in their environment. Such a clever way to hunt those large animals.
Definitely. The Plains Indians were masters of adapting and thriving in their harsh landscape. Their hunting techniques were truly ingenious.
I'm amazed by their level of innovation and skill, especially given the limitations they faced. It's a fascinating glimpse into their way of life.
Absolutely. It's a great example of how human ingenuity can overcome challenges, even in the most difficult environments. Really inspiring stuff.
I agree, John. Learning about the hunting tactics of the Plains Indians has given me a new appreciation for their culture and way of life. It's really fascinating.
I'm glad I could share that bit of history with you. It's always exciting to uncover the clever solutions that our ancestors developed to thrive.
Definitely. It's a great reminder that resourcefulness and adaptability are timeless human traits. I appreciate you taking the time to educate me on this.
Of course, I'm happy to. Alright, shall we move on to our next topic of discussion? I'm all ears for what you'd like to chat about next.
Lesson 12, Finding Hope in Challenging Times.
Hey Anna, I've been feeling a bit down about the state of the world lately. But you know what they say, where there's a will, there's a way.
I hear you, John. It can be easy to get discouraged, but I truly believe that as long as we have even the smallest glimmer of hope, we can keep pushing forward.
That's a great perspective. I suppose it's easy to get bogged down by all the negativity and challenges we see around us.
Absolutely. But I think what's most important is that we don't lose sight of the positive. Even in the darkest of times, there are always reasons to have hope.
You make a really good point. I guess it's all about shifting our mindset and focusing on the light, rather than dwelling on the darkness.
Exactly. And I believe that's what politics should be about, not just dwelling on problems, but seeking solutions and ways to make progress.
That's an interesting take. What do you think people should be seeking from politics and political leaders these days?
Well, I think first and foremost, people want to see real, meaningful action being taken to address the issues that matter most to them and their communities.
Absolutely. Empty promises and partisan bickering just seem to breed more cynicism and hopelessness.
Completely agree. People want leaders who are going to roll up their sleeves and do the hard work of bringing people together, rather than driving them apart.
Definitely. And I think they also want to see a genuine compassion and concern for the well-being of all citizens, not just a select few.
Yes, that's so important. Politics should be about serving the greater good, not serving one's own interests or those of a narrow constituency.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Talking with you has really helped shift my perspective a bit. I feel a little more hopeful now.
I'm so glad to hear that, John. It's easy to get discouraged, but I truly believe that as long as we keep that glimmer of hope alive, we can overcome anything.
You're absolutely right. And having good people around us who can provide that positive outlook makes all the difference.
Agreed. Sometimes we just need that little nudge to remember that even in the darkest of times, there is always a way forward.
Well, thank you for being that nudge for me today, Anna. I really appreciate you taking the time to have this meaningful conversation.
Of course, John. I'm always happy to discuss these important topics and hopefully provide a little inspiration along the way. It's what friends are for, after all.
Couldn't agree more. All right, I'm feeling reinvigorated and ready to tackle the day. Where shall we go from here?
Lesson 13, Skilled Craftsmanship and Community Projects.
Hey Anna, I was wondering if you might be able to help me out with a community project I'm involved in. My friend Mike is really skilled at woodworking and construction, and he's offered to lend a hand.
Oh, that's wonderful, John. Having someone with that level of craftsmanship on board can make a huge difference. What kind of project are you working on?
Well, we're building a set for a local theater production. The director has a very specific vision, and Mike has been a godsend in bringing it to life.
That's so great that you have a friend with those kinds of talents. Woodworking and construction are such valuable skills, especially for a community project like this.
Absolutely. Mike has been working tirelessly, cutting and assembling all the different pieces we need. His attention to detail is incredible.
I can imagine. It must be amazing to watch him transform the raw materials into a complete, functional set piece. That kind of craftsmanship really is an art form.
You're so right. He makes it look effortless, but I know there's a lot of thought and skill that goes into it. I'm constantly in awe of what he can create.
I can understand that. It's impressive when someone is able to take an idea and then translate that into a tangible, physical result. That kind of talent is quite rare.
Definitely. And the best part is, he's not even getting paid for this. He's just doing it out of the kindness of his heart to support the local arts community.
Wow, that's so generous of him. It's wonderful when people are willing to volunteer their time and expertise for the greater good of the community.
I know, right? He's been a huge asset, and I'm so grateful to have him on the team. The set is really starting to come together nicely thanks to his efforts.
That's fantastic. I'm sure the theater director and the rest of the production crew are thrilled to have such a skilled volunteer contributing to the project.
Absolutely. They've been singing Mike's praises nonstop. He's really made their vision a reality in a way they couldn't have accomplished on their own.
That's so wonderful to hear. It's great when individual talents and passions can be leveraged to support community initiatives like this. It makes a real impact.
Couldn't agree more. I'm really proud to be a part of this project and to have the opportunity to work alongside someone as skilled and generous as Mike.
That's really admirable, John. It's so important to recognize and appreciate the people in our communities who are willing to step up and lend a hand, without any expectation of reward.
Exactly. Mike is a true inspiration, and I hope his example encourages others to get involved and share their talents as well. Community is all about coming together, you know?
Absolutely. When people pool their resources and expertise, amazing things can happen. It sounds like this theater project is a wonderful example of that.
It really is. Alright, I'm feeling motivated to get back to work on it. Thanks for listening, Anna. I appreciate you taking the time to chat about this.
Lesson 14, A Trip to the Department Store.
Hey Anna, I noticed you weren't around earlier. Where did you end up going?
Oh, I decided to do a bit of shopping earlier. I went down to the department store downtown.
The department store, huh? Find anything good? I'm always on the lookout for some new clothes.
As a matter of fact, yes. They had some really nice spring styles that caught my eye. I couldn't resist picking up a few new pieces.
Wonderful. What kind of stuff did you find? I'd love to hear about your haul.
Well, I snagged a beautiful floral print dress that I think will be perfect for the warmer weather. And I also grabbed a new blazer in a lovely soft blue color.
Ooh, those both sound lovely. The floral dress especially, that's right up my alley. I love a good feminine, springtime look.
I thought you might. And the blazer is so versatile. I can dress it up or down, depending on the occasion.
Smart thinking. Sounds like you really made the most of your trip to the department store. Any other exciting finds?
Actually, yes. They had the most exquisite display of jewelry that I couldn't help but browse. I ended up treating myself to a delicate gold necklace.
A new necklace, huh? I bet that must have been a real treat. Department store jewelry can be so elegant.
Definitely. It's the perfect little touch of luxury. And the best part is, all the proceeds from the jewelry sales were being donated to charity.
Oh, how wonderful! I love when retailers find ways to give back like that. Makes the shopping experience even more meaningful.
Absolutely. It's a win-win. I get to indulge in some retail therapy while also supporting a good cause. Can't beat that.
I agree wholeheartedly. It sounds like you had a really productive and fulfilling trip to the department store. I'm a bit jealous.
Haha, Well, you're more than welcome to join me next time. I'm sure we could find you a few great new pieces as well.
You know what, I might just take you up on that. A little shopping trip could be just the thing to lift my spirits.
Wonderful. It's a date then. We'll make a day of it, shopping, maybe grabbing lunch too. Sound good?
Sounds perfect. Alright, I'm already looking forward to it. Thanks for the invite, Anna. This is exactly what I need.
Of course, John. I'm happy to provide a little retail therapy whenever you need it. Now let's start planning our next department store adventure.
You got it. Okay, I'm all ears. Where should we start our hunt for the perfect new outfits?
Lesson 15, Taking Action for Change.
Hey Anna, I wanted to get your thoughts on that community issue we were discussing the other day. Do you think we can actually make a difference?
Absolutely, John. I believe that when we pay attention to important issues and get involved, it can absolutely lead to meaningful change.
That's encouraging to hear. I know a lot of people feel like they're just one small voice that can't make an impact.
I understand that sentiment, but I truly believe that's not the case. Even individual actions can snowball and spark larger movements.
You make a good point. I guess it's about having the courage to step up and do something, rather than just sitting on the sidelines.
Exactly. And when more and more people take that first step, it creates a momentum that's hard to ignore.
You know, I've been thinking a lot about what we can do to really draw attention to this issue and push for change.
That's wonderful, John. What ideas do you have? I'm eager to brainstorm ways we can make a tangible difference.
Well, I was thinking we could start by organizing a community meeting to get more people involved and raise awareness.
That's a great first step. Bringing the community together to discuss the problem and potential solutions is crucial.
Definitely. And I also think we need to get in touch with our local government representatives to make sure they're aware of this issue.
Yes, absolutely. Putting pressure on our elected officials is key. They need to know this is a priority for their constituents.
Agreed. I think if we can get a large enough group of concerned citizens to band together, we'll have a much stronger voice.
That's a smart strategy. United, will be much harder for them to ignore. I'm excited to get the ball rolling on this.
Me too. I feel motivated to really make some positive change happen here. Are you ready to get to work?
Absolutely, John. I'm in this with you 100%. Let's start planning that community meeting and reaching out to our local leaders.
Fantastic. With your help, I know we can make a real impact. I'm grateful to have you by my side for this.
Of course, John. I'm happy to lend my time and energy to this important cause. Together, I believe we can truly make a difference.
That's the spirit. Alright, let's get started. I have a feeling this is just the beginning of something big.
Lesson 16, Seasons of Snow.
Hey Anna, have you noticed how the weather has been changing lately? It's really starting to feel like winter.
Definitely. The temperatures have dropped quite a bit. I'm curious to see how much snow we might get this season.
Me too. You know, the snow can be so unpredictable. Some years we just get a light dusting, and other times it's a full-blown blizzard.
That's so true. It's amazing how much variation we can get in the winter weather from one year to the next.
Absolutely. I remember a few years ago, we had a snowstorm that practically shut the whole city down for days.
Wow, I can only imagine. Heavy snow like that can really wreak havoc. It must have been a challenge getting around.
It was crazy. The streets were impassable, and we were all basically snowed in. But you know, there's something kind of magical about heavy snow too.
I agree, there is a certain beauty and wonder to it. When the world is blanketed in white, it can feel almost otherworldly.
Exactly. It's like a peaceful, serene hush settles over everything. And there's just something so cozy about being all bundled up inside.
Definitely. The contrast between the stillness outside and the warmth and comfort of home is really special.
Absolutely. I always love watching the snow gently falling through the windows. It's so mesmerizing.
Me too. And the first time you step out into a freshly fallen snow, before anyone else has walked through it, that's just magical.
Totally. It's like you're the first to discover a brand new winter wonderland. Such a unique and fleeting experience.
Definitely. Though I have to admit, I'm not as big a fan of those years where we get just a light dusting. It never seems to last long enough.
I know what you mean. The heavy snowfalls can be disruptive, but they really create that quintessential winter atmosphere, don't they?
Exactly. There's just something so cozy and nostalgic about being snowed in with a hot cup of cocoa and good company.
I couldn't agree more. Well, I'm certainly looking forward to whatever Mother Nature has in store for us this winter. It's bound to be an adventure.
Absolutely. And I'm happy to have you by my side, John, whether it's a light dusting or a full-blown blizzard. This season is always better when shared with good friends.
Ah, you're absolutely right. I'm glad to have you in my life too, Anna. Now let's hope for at least one good snowstorm, shall we?
Lesson 17, Finding a Lost Item.
Hey Anna, I wanted to ask you something. I seem to have misplaced my wallet earlier today. Have you by chance seen it anywhere?
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, John. When was the last time you remember having it?
I think the last time I definitely had it was when I left the office earlier this afternoon. I must have set it down somewhere and forgotten about it.
I see. Well, let's think through where you might have gone since then. Did you stop anywhere on your way home?
Now that you mention it, I did stop by the coffee shop down the street for a quick break. That's probably the most likely place I lost it.
Okay, that's a good lead. I'll tell you what, why don't you check back with the coffee shop, and I'll see if I can track down our building's security team.
That's a great idea. I'll head over there right away and see if they've found anything. In the meantime, I really appreciate you trying to help me locate it.
Of course, John. I know how frustrating it is to lose something important like that. I'm happy to do whatever I can to help you find it.
You're the best, Anna. Alright, I'm going to go check with the coffee shop. I'll let you know as soon as I hear anything.
Lesson 18, Holiday Homecoming.
Hey Anna, I wanted to tell you about this great holiday movie I just watched. It really got me in the festive mood.
Oh, do tell. I'm always on the lookout for good holiday-themed movies to get into the spirit of the season.
Well, this one follows this guy who's stuck working over the holidays, away from his family. He's really bummed about it at first.
Ah, that sounds like a relatable situation for a lot of people. It can be tough being away from loved ones during the holidays.
Absolutely. But then, in a really heartwarming twist, his little sister shows up and surprises him, telling him he can come home too.
Ah, that's such a sweet sibling moment. I bet that just melted his heart and turned his whole mood around.
It really did. The scenes of the two of them reuniting and heading home together were just so cheerful and feel good.
I can just imagine the joy and excitement radiating off the screen. Those kinds of heartwarming family moments are the best part of holiday movies.
Totally agree. And the movie didn't stop there, it had all sorts of other festive, fun elements too. Like holiday parties and decorating and all that.
Ooh, that sounds right up my alley. I love when holiday movies capture all the little traditions and cozy moments of the season.
Same here. It really put me in the mood to start planning my own holiday festivities. Maybe I'll even convince you to join me for a movie marathon.
You know, I'd be more than happy to join you, John. A cozy holiday movie night sounds like the perfect way to get into the spirit.
Fantastic. We'll have to coordinate schedules and make a plan. I feel like I could watch Christmas movies all day long.